Welcome back to Ellipsis, everyone. I'm Champion.
And I'm MJ.
And we are watching Monster Episode 4.
Previously on Monster.
Let's see. So we had the fallout of those 3 men in the hospital dying. They attended the funeral. We met Inspector Lunge. We got that clarified for us by one of our commenters, which we appreciate. We like having things pointed out to us if we got them wrong. We were saying lunge based off the spelling. It's Lunge. So just ignore the whole last episode for us. Yeah, so we met Lunge, quite a character. He has his whole memorizing mind palace type stuff. We also got to have a time skip.
9 years, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was an unexpected jump forward. We kind of thought we were going to be stuck into the whole situation of the present. Would Tenma be accused of, murdering his colleagues and his superiors? Would he be fired? Instead, he was promoted. Mm-hmm. His old fiance, the hospital head's daughter, tried to come back with him and he just yeeted out of there. He walked out without saying a word. We wanted him to go back to Japan, for his mental health, and then he got promoted instead, and his patients wanted him to stay. 9 years later, there's crimes, right? Like there's the kids are still missing.
Serial killer.
And there's a serial killer who targets middle-aged couples without kids.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting distinction to make. For some reason, we thought of 2 kids, but then they would be like 18 or so, 19.
19,
so it's not them. Maybe it's the person responsible for their situation.
Yeah.
Lunge is on the case, and he says that there is more than one person, probably a petty thief, a locksmith or a lockpicker of some sort, and they cornered him. He got hit by a car, and now Tenma is brought back into the fold to operate on him. Yeah, Lunge 9 years later still suspects Tenma. But yeah, we're excited to see what happens. It ended ominously with the guy saying something about a monster.
Monster is coming.
Monster's coming.
Yeah.
So excited. We are really thoroughly enjoying the show, guys. We wish we could watch it more frequently and have these reactions out quicker. I don't know if you guys are aware, if you mentioned in the past, but MJ is 7 months, almost 8 months pregnant. So we have to coordinate around our work schedule and taking care of our physical and mental health. But we appreciate the support and the patience. We took a 1-week respite or a holiday of sorts last week on both of our reactions for our 2 shows. So we're coming back starting this Friday. But yeah, jumping into episode 4 of Monster. That's right, he had a weird name. The thief.
Who's just recapping?
Or a different day, maybe. Oh no. Tenma's so happy. like And just like that, the show just, with a little bit of music and a little bit of lingering shots, it brings you back into that atmosphere so quickly.
Yeah, I love the expression on his face. It looks so scared.
Yeah, the different lines creasing up and tightening, and it's good stuff, guys. Night of the execution.
The detective?
Yeah. Adolf
Junkers.
Maybe not the most popular name in 1980s Germany. Or is it 1990s now? 9 years.
1995,
So they were killed by the serial killer with their throats cut? Lunge is intense. Yeah.
He's scary.
I mean, he said, was it last episode, he's never missed or not solved the case? Yeah, he's never not solved it. Right, it's a very distinctive pattern.
Who is it? The monster.
Terrified of whoever it is that hired him.
Yeah.
Again, to recap for our followers, I still think this is not a supernatural show. MJ thinks that it could be. So
it is.
Poisoned?
ドクター・テンマ、あなたの周りではなぜか偶然いろんなトラブルが起きるようですから。何が言いたいんですか?
That's true.
では
It's just a joke.
I told you it's gonna be trouble for Tenma. Which sucks, because Tenma's such an upstanding guy.
Yeah, it's good that they have that cop there, I guess.
散歩ですよ。勝手な真似をされたら困ります。
This isn't gonna end
あ
well.
なたも一緒にどうですか?
Follow them.
Yes, do your job, follow them. What? Stress. I'm stressed out. It's unfortunate because he's genuinely a caring guy trying to nurse his patient back to health, but it looks so suspicious.
Or is he a genuinely nice guy? Maybe it's all a front. Maybe we're on Lunge's side.
So he admits that he used to kind of have that mindset. Oh, so Johann, the kid, changed his life.
Changed him.
Oh, so he's like trying to rehabilitate his patient spiritually and mentally as well as physically.
By telling him he can start over, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe.
That's one way to look at it. Oh, like a cuckoo doll or something similar. Yeah, one bad decision can just snowball for all of us.
Yeah. They're all killed.
Does it mean they were killed during the break-ins or before the break-ins, and that's how he worked with the monster?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he gonna see his ex-fiance?
Freaking.
Oh,
Oh no, the clock.
the clock. Oh, is he gonna buy the guy a clock?
Oh, he's so happy.
He's such a
doesn't
good
even
guy.
think about it.
Yeah, it just comes naturally to him. Oh,
Meanwhile, Dr. Beck is the same.
oh, he's gonna bring a clock, and this guy's gonna be dead or gone. Or worse, he's gonna commit suicide.
No.
And that'll just make Dr. Tenma look really suspicious.
Please don't be there, please. He's
Oh
gone.
no.
No, he was gonna tell him everything.
Oh no, fuck you, sir.
No.
Oh, fucking hell. See, and this is in the 90s, so I'm guessing they don't have cameras in the hallways.
No, he's so happy.
But I mean, the nurse saw him just come in, right? So.
Yeah. And they still don't have lights in the corridor. Come on.
Get a hold of yourself.
Oh no.
He was poisoned by candy. Oh, it's gonna make him look
Shit.
fucking fuck.
He's gone. No. He's gone.
If he had a cell
my
phone, if this was like
gosh.
modern day, he could have called.
Yeah. Where is he running?
The police immediately.
Is somebody running after him?
Right? Like he's like, how would you feel if 9 years later the same thing happens?
Yeah.
What a crazy twist of fate. Also, no city streets are these this abandoned. Yeah, like you would see
And
people
dark.
passing by, and why would he run to an abandoned building like that?
Why?
Well, I mean, obviously he's gonna come.
See him? See the monster? I wanna see him. The boy. The boy.
Yeah, I think so. Blonde.
Johann.
Yeah, he's young.
もう忘れちゃったかな、あの時の双子のことなんて。ヨハン。
Oh god, I thought the episode ended. I was like, what? It was so fast.
No!
Oh, what a mind fuck for him. Like, I mean, we kind of saw this coming, but the thing that throws me off is how young he is to be this serial killer.
何をするつもりだ。
何って。
Oh shit.
It's a gun.
What happened to you? Why?
まさか4組の中年夫婦殺しの依頼人は君なのか。
But why?
俺が警察に目つけられたか
I
ら。
love the lighting.
こいつ俺たちが邪魔になったんだ。
The shadows.
Yeah.
男のポリスも。
It's like, he's in the dark. He doesn't know what's going on right now. He does know what's going on, but he's probably gonna die.
Because the light's coming from behind.
Johann, he's still
Johann.
silhouetted, yeah.
Yeah.
おしゃべりだな、ユンケルスは。
よせ。君はヨハン・リーベルト、双子の兄弟の兄だ。1986年、東ドイツから亡命してきた。
Wow, he remembers all of this.
これだけの素性が分かっていたら逃げ延びることは不可能だぞ。
I mean, he could just kill you, Tenma.
I don't think he would.
I know, but I'm saying, like, he's operating off the thought that, oh, he wouldn't kill me, so we would catch him.
僕の本当の
Oh,
名
that's
前
not
じゃ
his
ない。
real name.
僕の過去を知っちゃいけないんだ。あの4組の夫婦もリーベルト夫妻も。でも先生は別だよ。先生は僕を助け
His voice is so soft, too. It's almost like effeminate.
だって先生がいなければ僕はここ
They both view Tenma as like a parent of sorts,
Yeah.
because he nurtures as well as, you know, heals and saves.
人の命を何だと思っているんだ。
It's like the complete opposite mindset.
Yeah.
君を助けることで人の命の重さは全て平等だって気づいたんだぞ。
He's like, hey, you're the catalyst for my change of heart. You can't possibly not value human life.
あの事件の後すぐに外科部長になったんだって院長や外科部長やチーフが死んだから今の先生があるんだろう本当によかった
He didn't want it that way.
まさか君が。
だって先生が言ったんじゃ
We
ない
knew it. We knew it was
Because he was listening.
じゃない
That's not what he meant.
あんな
He
や
was
つ。
just mad.
あんなや
Yeah.
つ。死んだ方がマシだ。マシだ。マシだ。
Shit.
先生の望み通りにしてあげたんだ
Oh man, this is so good.
先生、助けてよ先生。
No, don't kill him.
There's no way he's coming out of this alive.
Oh, no. Not right in front of him, too.
He's a good shot. I mean, he got him in the head twice.
僕はあの時死んでいたはずだったんだ先生が僕を生き返らせてくれた
Yeah, this is your
Oh
fault
my god.
in the most roundabout unfair way.
We called it in the first episode. We said somehow saving him isn't gonna go well.
Right. His face is so, he is young and he's so plain looking. Like he doesn't have any villainous qualities physically. I love that. If he's the monster, which it seems like he is, that's so great. Like
his character
as just like someone in society you wouldn't assume does stuff like that. He looks like
innocent,
handsome and young and innocent. This is gonna look so terrible for Tenma. Yeah.
1986年東ドイツから亡命したリーベルトの子供にあなたはその少年のオペを執刀し彼の一命を取り留めた
They're obviously gonna think he's crazy.
その少年は驚いたことに病院の院長外科部長
I mean, yeah.
Right, I mean it sounds so like he just came out of surgery, he's a boy, and somehow poisoned Candy and killed 3 adults.
And then comes
and
back
then disappeared. Yep.
As a teenager still, and then
or like at the very most a
this.
young adult.
Yeah.
But think of it from Tenma's point of view. He has no reason to want to kill the officer or Junkers when he's on top of the world right now, technically, right? Like why would he want to risk his career killing 2 random people?
Yeah.
Oh man, that shot, so good.
No.
He's probably thinking Tenma killed the 4 middle-aged couples and was tying up loose ends by killing Junkers. Maybe he's thinking that.
Why would he though? Like, what would his reason be for killing?
Maybe he just thinks that Tenma's a serial killer. It's one of those things where like normally a character has something terrible happen to them and they do maybe something that deserves it. But consistently throughout this show, Tenma doesn't do anything to deserve it, and then things happen.
At the end, we always feel bad for Tenma.
Okay, guys, that was Monster Episode 4, non-stop roller coaster with this show.
Yeah.
I knew stuff was gonna go down, judging by, the last few seconds of the previous episode where, he was like, the monster's coming. And I mean, we did have suspicions in the beginning, thanks to the intro, that, Johann might not have been a life worth saving in the long run. But this show seems, or at least Tenma in the show, as its protagonist, seems adamant against that kind of thinking. Like every life is worth saving, regardless of who they were or what they did. They're treated equally, level playing field.
Yeah.
But I feel like this whole show is going to be about testing that.
Yeah.
Like pushing that mindset, that genuine kindness to its breaking point.
Yeah, because he seems to consistently think that, and then it's always challenged by shitty people around him that don't view life the same way.
Yeah, no one in the show really, like even like Dr. Like none of the speaking line characters seem to really value all lives except for Tenma. I love seeing that stuff in films and TV shows where a character isn't just a character, but they often embody a way of thinking, a philosophy, and their physical journey in the show is paralleled with their battle against different philosophies and points of view. And at the end of the show, we see which philosophy won out, which belief remains, and that's often what the writer is trying to convey to the audience, right? So good. Just one thing before I'm going to ask you some questions, but I have to say, this show, totally unrelated, we're watching My Hero Academia right now, and we're in the middle of one of my favorite arcs in the manga, and it's not been at all what I expected as an adaptation, disappointingly. And I think a lot of it has to do with what this show, Monster, does so well, and that is patience. It bides its time. It establishes this atmosphere, this like it lets you just soak in someone's expression for a few seconds. It lets you just have lingering shots of the rain. It's creative. It strikes real emotion into you, even if not a whole lot is happening, per episode. It feels like a lot emotionally is happening because you're being painstakingly forced into a box of Tenma's perspective. And the My Villain Academia Meta Liberation arc in My Hero right now has not had that patience, provided that time and that care to get you into the mindset of Toga or these other characters. It's just execution. Execution makes all the difference. I'm sure that probably upsets a lot of people who watch Monsters, comparing a very popular shonen to this artistic seinen. But I hope you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not really comparing apples and oranges. I'm just saying execution, establishment of atmosphere and tension and emotional beats is so important, and that's like the best thing about this show, other than the writing and the voice acting and just everything else.
Yeah, everything.
The music. It is a top tier show. 4 episodes in. I really hope I'm not hyping it up, because I know it's a long show, and I am aware that shows can go up and down, but so far it's been like, it's
all of the episodes have just been consistently good.
Yeah.
So
I haven't been into a show like this since like the better parts of ReZero. It's intense. What did you think about this episode? I've been talking. Sorry.
I really love this episode. Again, I love the whole show. It's just it seems to really captivate me, like from the start. And although like they had that little flashback at the start of the episode where he repeats like monsters coming, like that was necessary to put in there, because
it brings you back so quickly. Just the music, his expression, the line, it's like, oh, in case you forgot what the show makes you feel, boom, it's like a vacuum.
It just
sucking you in. I love the little not just the dark scary moments, but like those light breezy moments where he takes, I mean, there's that tension, there's that underlying tension, because it's like, Tenma, why are you bringing Junkers out? Makes you look sus. But then it's like, no, he doesn't care about looking sus. That's not even in his mindset. He just wants to nurture his patient.
Contrasting with like all the darkness and stuff that's happening, there's also just very light,
the spark of love
moments,
in this person. I think that's what makes this show so good. It's like it's a lot of dark stuff. There's death and murder and intrigue, but then we're focused on a protagonist who, while not like a beam of sunshine, like over the top goody happiness, is actually a very realistic impression of a good moral person. Someone who goes out of his way to buy a nutcracker cuckoo clock for
and he feels so happy, like,
it lit his night up. Like he's talking with one of his colleagues about a girl, and instead he just totally gets sidetracked. He's like, I can help my patient that's accused of murder. Like, it's like very very Christ-like, very like good without being pompous about it, and that's cool. I think that's what makes this show so good, is the contrast of the protagonist with everything else in the show.
And then you end up feeling so bad for him, because these things happen, and
I mean, it's not to say that he's faultless in the whole sense of like he could do things that makes himself look less suspicious, but you're not mad at him for it, because he doesn't care. He just cares about being helpful to others. Like he could cooperate with the police more and be like, no, keep interrogating this guy, but instead he's like, get out, I'm his primary physician.
But that's because he cares so
exactly
much.
So it's like on one hand you're like, oh, it's not like he doesn't deserve to have suspicion on him, because he does stuff that makes him seem sus, but you know where he's coming from. That's amazing writing. I know this mangaka, the name's escaping right now, I'm sorry, but I know he's done a few other projects. He's very prolific. I think I remember reading somewhere that he works on 2 projects at a time consistently, which is crazy. When this show is done, I cannot wait to read some of his other stuff if it hasn't been adapted.
So talented.
And the animation studio, let's not take away from the animators adapting this. The light in that scene in the parking lot, or the abandoned building, where we talked about how Tenma's in the shadows because he is in the dark about what's going on.
He doesn't know anything.
The character who does seem to know things, Mr. Junkers, is illuminated, but he's down on the floor, right? He's in the lowest position of all. And then the man with the gun, Johann, the light's coming from behind him, so he's still silhouetted, but he knows what's going on. It's like
that choice of lighting it's
so good. Amazing. I liked his little backstory, Junkers, rest in peace, about how he just wanted a clock as a boy. His sin was just envy, something we can all relate to, wanting something you can't have, and then getting to the point where you just reach out and take it for yourself, and then regardless of your intentions going into it, it's a strike against you, and it spirals, because from there people are like, hey, you broke into this place, right? It's like, yeah, but I got caught. Oh, well, at least you have experience. You want to help us out with this? And you're like, sure, I guess I know what I'm doing. And it just becomes your career path, or it becomes the crowd that you run with. And
then Tenma, again, being his wholesome self, is like, you can start again, which is something that a lot of people need to hear. Is like, even though you've gone on that path of like being bad, there's always like a way to start again. And then he tries to do that, but
I mean, that's what's really, really fucking shitty about the whole situation is he's going to do it. And as the audience, we know, and that's what hits home for us. It's like, okay, he's making the right choices.
Yeah.
But the officer's dead. Tenma's not around. Johann is chasing him. It's like too little, too late.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because if only he'd had someone like Tenma in his life sooner. Because sometimes all people need, because we're weak. All of us humans are weak. We think that we're strong, but we're really fragile things, mentally, emotionally, physically. And sometimes all you need is that one person to like just believe in you, to see your flaws and acknowledge them, but still be like, I still believe in you. You can do this. You can change. That's so powerful. And he didn't have that. It seems he didn't he didn't have a support in his life. All of his friends were fellow criminals. So tragic. Now Tenma is under a lot of suspicion. Junkers is dead. Johann, let's talk about Johann. Anime intros always seem to spoil shit, and that's frustrating.
The intro still had him as a little boy, so.
And then it showed like a silhouette of what we now know as Johann. So I guess we sort of had a feeling, but I thought maybe not, because that would make him so young.
But no, he's a teenage serial killer.
Remind us of his age,
19.
guys. Was he like 10, 11? And then 9 years later, so he's like 20, 21? It's pretty young. But he said Johann Liebert or whatever was not his name.
Yeah.
So there's clearly some conspiracy of sorts. Again, we're reminded that they were from East Germany, which was, under Soviet control at the time. And then that family defected to West Germany. Yeah. So I wonder if that has anything to do with anything.
Yeah. And then from the beginning, when he was a kid, he killed those 3 doctors.
Yeah. He got a hold of poison candy.
Yeah.
Or he just knew that they would eat his candy and poison them. I don't know. There's some leaps and bounds I'm going to have to make to follow this, or it's going to be explained really well. Either way, I just love physically how Johann looks. Yeah. Unassuming, kind of handsome, kind of he's kind of like a soft, almost effeminate, voice,
very
young,
innocent looking.
Yeah. Normal clothes. And he just has a gun, but somehow, even though we see guns and superpowers and just crazy stuff in anime all the time, him pulling out that gun was so dreadful. Because this show took the time to make you care about Junkers, and obviously you care about Tenma.
In 2 episodes, they made you care about Junkers.
It's
that's amazing.
It's great work. Really interesting villain. I want to know if he really is a villain, or if he has his own reasons for doing what he does.
Reasons?
He, I'm guessing, is the titular monster. So we're gonna get more information there. Just overall, really great episode.
Yeah, and a great show. Just all together. Everything about it.
We certainly hope that the rest of the show, it doesn't have to be as exciting as this episode was, as long as it has that consistency of atmosphere and character and believability and what people do, that makes sense, they do that. I'm gonna love this show. It seems great so far. Next episode, I'm sure we'll find out what Tenma's gonna do. If he can stomach the thought that a boy he saved 9 years ago is responsible for so many people's deaths, what is that gonna do to his whole argument of every life being equal? But thank you guys for joining us on this fantastic journey so far.
If you want to stay up to date with us, we are also reacting to a couple of other shows. Feel free to subscribe, leave a like if you are enjoying our reactions. Comment if we got any pronunciations wrong,
or just information wrong, if this isn't 1995. But if we missed that, or if we forgot any details, let us know. We like fixing our mistake. Let us know what you really liked about the show. Also, what we can do as a reaction duo better. What you'd like to see us, do.
Do.
I said do.
Do.
But We really appreciate you guys joining us, leaving a like, supporting us in any way. We appreciate all the comments of people who've reached out saying they love this show and encouraging us to keep going. We are definitely not stopping it anytime soon.
Yeah, looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.